are gonna go over some of the creepiest cursed dolls that are real. Seems fitting since Halloween is just around the corner. I have all my costumes ready. Comment below what you're gonna be this year. And before we get started, as always, subscribe, turn on notifications for the channel, follow me on social media, links are down below, and let's get spooky. Robert, that is such a casual name for a demon. Robert the doll who is always watching. Pervert. The doll was allegedly known to giggle, run from room to room like a psycho, cause household accidents, and walk past upstairs windows while the family was away. Imagine being the neighbor across the street and you see a doll just zoom past upstairs window. That is scary. He was left in the attic of his previous owner until 1974, where he was passed around a lot, until he later ended up in a museum, where he still resides today. And staff members claim that the doll causes strange activity anytime it is rotated. Then quit moving it! He obviously don't like being manhandled. Its head is also seen to be turning to follow museum goers as they pass by. It literally goes, "What you looking at?" I can stare too. I respect it, Robert. I get it. I don't like being looked at either. This girl gave me the stank eye the other day in Florida, and I gave it right back to her. She looked at me like this, and I did the same. I was like, I can do that too, girl. What you looking at? I mean, I get it. I was in Florida and I hated it. If I had to stay there, I'd be cranky too. Mandy, the doll with the sinister smile and a jacked up forehead. What happened to you? Looks like a dumpster baby. Mandy has been scaring the absolute crap out of staff members and volunteers at this museum since 1991. Shortly after she was donated, strange events started happening, like the sounds of disembodied footsteps and vanishing office supplies. She's stealing staplers? To name a few. Several museum guests are made uneasy by her, regularly commenting on her sinister smile and lifelike eyes. Well, if I was stuck at a museum for the rest of my immortal life against my will, I'd be bored too, and I would cause a ruckus. I'd be running around messing with people, stealing stuff. I have nothing better to do. It's not like she's killing anybody yet. Okiku, the doll whose hair grows. Her hair looks longer than mine. Can you give me some tips? In 1918, 17-year-old Akichi Suzuki bought a doll for his sister, Okiku. If I butchered those names, don't judge me, I'm trying. She quickly became attached to it, but sadly she died a year later from an intense fever, and the family built a memorial altar in her honor, placing her doll at the center of it. Shortly afterwards, they noticed the doll's hair started growing. Believing that the spirit of their daughter had latched onto the toy, the family donated her to Japan's Manji Temple, where she is still on display, and her hair continues to grow, and it's currently 10 inches long. And I think this article is kind of old, so it's probably even longer now. Little girl said, I want to be a real life Barbie in the next life. Harold. They all have such chill names. The doll was listed on eBay in 2003. That's why I don't shop on eBay. I ain't buying no haunted crap. Where the seller alleged that his presence in their home caused the death of their cat, or you're just a bad pet owner, the end of their relationship, or you're just a bad boyfriend or girlfriend, chronic migraines, you drink more water, and the seller even heard the disembodied voices of children playing in their basement, or you're a kidnapper and you're complaining about the noise. Maybe set them free. Harold was passed around from owner to owner for the next several years. He's been rumored to have caused various deaths and illnesses. His last owner claims to have exorcised the doll and has sworn to never speak of Harold again. I mean, did the doll possess you? Annabelle. If you don't know Annabelle, you've been living under a rock. Those are some of the best horror movies, in my opinion. And the movie doll is so much creepier than the Raggedy Ann doll in real life. That's what she actually looks like. They just changed it for the movie. But yeah, if you don't already know, the story of Annabelle involves a young nursing student who received the Raggedy Ann doll as a birthday present from her mom, which is weird. Who gives a doll to their grown daughter? I think she knew. Donna and her roommate Angie soon became convinced that the doll was alive following weeks of increasingly bizarre incidents, including repeatedly coming home to find that the doll had changed positions or moved to a different room, following an incident in which their friend was attacked by an unseen force. And that is when they reached out to the famous paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, that is a true story, who brought Annabelle to their occult museum where she still resides. And if you didn't hear the news in the previous few years, they actually moved her I think they're moving the whole museum to a new building if they haven't already. But when I heard they were gonna move the doll, ooh, I swear I thought the world was gonna end. But I guess they did it successfully because we're still alive. But there's a true story where there's this one guy who did not read the signs, he didn't follow the rules, and he touched the glass container that was holding Annabelle. They have very strict rules. You do not touch it. You don't go anywhere near it. There's a barrier. He ignored that. They kicked him out, and he drove away on his motorcycle and immediately died in an accident. So, Isla de la Moon... I can't say that. Island of the Dolls. The land of trapped souls. The land's original caretaker, Dawn, allegedly found a body of a drowned girl and one of her dolls floating near the island. He hung the doll on a tree in a sign of respect. Weird. But after being haunted by her spirit, began hanging more and more dolls in an effort to appease her restless ghosts. That makes no sense to me. After 50 years of obsessively collecting his dolls, Dawn died of drowning in 2001, like the little girl, and apparently in the exact same spot where he found her body. Yeah, it sounds like he was possessed. And all these people are gonna drown and die there and have their souls trapped in all these dolls. It was her demon plan. Patty Reed's doll. This doll has had to cope with a lot, apparently. Look at that creepy thing. That's a mummy. While she isn't known to be haunted, she's definitely a scary doll. As the story goes, Patty's family, the Donner family, were cannibals. Nice. They ended up getting stuck in a snowstorm and turned to eating the only things they could: leather, mice, and eventually each other. What a nice family. Patty's doll was a witness to the clan eating each other. You poor thing. And although they and the doll ended up back in San Jose, it's fair to say that the poor doll was witness to a lot. So the doll isn't haunted, it's just traumatized like the rest of us. Go to therapy. Joliet. That is a scary doll. That is the scariest one in my opinion. That big old forehead is blinding me. In this family, creepy dolls are a part of history. Each woman has 2 children, a girl and a boy, but the boy dies just 3 days after being born. And this has happened for 4 generations. Sounds like you'll need to stop having kids. Let the curse die with you. Stop passing it on. Anna, the youngest woman to be cursed by the doll, believes that Joliet was given to her great-grandmother. Infant screams, cries, and giggles have been heard coming from the doll. Small footsteps have been heard in the night, and for each generation of the family, the infant's voice changes. Y'all are just crazy. The women believe that Joliet curses the women and claims the boys as her own. Well, that's weird. But yeah, that is it for some creepy cursed dolls that are real. If this doesn't teach you to just not buy weird looking dolls, I don't know what will, because people don't learn their lessons. But yeah, that's it. Again, comment below your Halloween costume for this year. And as always, subscribe, turn on notifications, follow me on social media, links are down below, and I'll see you tomorrow.